Introduction to medical education. We will study physiology, but a really good doctor must know about medical education. What is medical education? I already discussed that we have three divisions of science. The first one is biology, chemistry, and physics. But as a medical students, we will take only biology. And in biology, we will study a very small part. Biology is very vast field, right? Biology is the study of life. From this living thing, we have two groups. The first is plants and animals. Animals are divided into two: human being and other animals. For using this topic, we will divide it into two groups: other animals and humans. Here in medical, we will study only humans. We will talk about animals, humans. In humans, we will study the normal structure and function. Then we will study abnormal structure and function. And in last, we will study the drugs, medicine, surgery, pediatrics, etc. for repairing the humans. Like a mobile. When mobile is takes some fault, we take it into mechanic. A mechanic repair it. Doctors repair humans. And this is medical education. In medical education, we will study human beings. But in medical education, there are two parts. The one is theoretical knowledge, and the second one is practical knowledge. So we easily divide the medical education into two parts. The first one is theoretical knowledge. Theoretical study. Theoretical study. What is theoretical study? Theoretical study is just as you reading books. This is theoretical. Theoretical study is further divided into two parts. The one is normal study. Normal. The second one is abnormal study. Are you getting? Yes. Normal study and abnormal study. First we will study normal. And if any abnormality occurs in human, then we relate with normal study. Like, if I got swelling in my hand, I will compare this hand with normal. So I will easily diagnose that there is some change in my hand. Like that, we will study first normal and then we will abnormal. There is normal study, normal theoretical study, and abnormal theoretical study. For normal study, there are a lot of subjects in medical, like anatomy, physiology, histology, cytology, pathology, microbiology, pharmacology, medicines, surgery, pediatrics. Right? In normal study, we will study two things on your level. As a doctor, we will study two things: structure and function. For studying function, it is must that you well know structure. If you doesn't know, if you have no idea about structure, you cannot study function. If I take this marker and I have no idea about marker, so how can I say that it's for writing? Right? So for that we will study structure. For structure we have two subjects. We have two or three subjects. But knowing the structure, before this, we must know the cellular organization, organizational levels. Organizational level we have first organ system. Organ systems like the digestive system, reproductive system, respiratory system, cardiovascular system. The second one is organ, then tissue and cell. From molecules we made cell. When cells are together and perform a proper function, there's tissue. When collection of tissues which have a specific function is organ. And some organs are collect and it forms organ system, organism. So in structure, we will take anatomy. This is a very broad term, anatomy. I have already discussed that anatomy, we divide anatomy into plants anatomy and animals anatomy. But we will take only human. So this is human anatomy. You have to define human anatomy. Human anatomy is the branch of anatomy in which we study the normal structure of human body. This is the simplest definition. Branch of anatomy, not sciences, medical sciences, because in medical sciences we have anatomy, and anatomy have two further branches, plants and animals. We talk only humans anatomy, so it's a branch of anatomy in which we study normal structure of human body. What's meant by structure? If we take a small definition, a very easy definition of cell, the basic structural and functional unit of life. Let's write it. The basic, we have two words, structure and function. Unit of life. We are studying life, living things. These are two words. Structure. We study structure and anatomy. And functions in physiology. So we can define cell as the physiological and anatomical unit of life. This is now easy for us, for anatomy and physiology. The physiological and anatomical unit of life or living things is called cell. So the normal structure study of human anatomy. You got MCQs in your paper. They write anatomy only. Here in A option, cutting down, and second option, structural study, and third option, both A and B. What will be your choice? Cutting up. Both A and B. Cutting up and structure, because we cannot study internal structure without cutting. Anatomy itself is of two words. One is ana and second one is tomy. Ana mean up and tomy mean cutting. In every word in medical, when you got tomy in the end, it's mean cutting. For example, appendectomy. For example, appendectomy, cholecystectomy. When you got this word, tomy, it's mean cutting of appendix, removal of appendix, removal of gallbladder. Right? So, tomy mean cutting. The anatomy means cutting up. Cutting up. This one definition for anatomy, which is very simple. It is the branch of anatomy in which we study about the structure of human body, but normal structure, not abnormal. If any abnormality occurs, then we will compare. We cannot study abnormal without comparison, as our brain do. Right? If I got if I got fracture in my hand and my radius ulna, I will compare this with normal. If I am not comparing, I will not diagnose. Right? If I have swelling in my eye, how I know that there is swelling? Because I already know this normal eye is not like this. So I will compare them both and I will get the abnormality diagnosis. The second branch in which we study tissues structure is histology. Histology is also a structural study. Histology. Histology is the study of tissues. Histo means tissues. Logos means study. So the scientific study of tissues is called histology. Scientific study of tissues. Study of tissues is called histology. What is tissue? Any one of you? Collection of cells only. If I collect one egg, one of my finger cell, one from plant cell, that is tissue. Why? Similarity is must? No. The collection of cells, any type of cells which have a proper function. If you collect random cells, this is not a tissue. Tissue will be perform a proper function. For example, if I get epithelial cells, I get connective tissues, connective cells. The connective tissues must be connect to things. Epithelium must be form the internal structure, lumen. The muscular tissues must be form muscles, which have the ability of contraction and relaxation. So the tissue, we can define tissue as collection of cells. Collection of two or more than two cells, which have a proper function. I think it is easy now. A collection of cells which have a proper function is called tissue. And we study tissues in histology. Then after that, we took cell, and we study cell in cytology. And last, I am going to teach you that how histology and cytology occur in anatomy. Right? Don't be confused. Cytology, the scientific study of cell. The first chapter in physiology is cytology, study of cell. We will study in detail the structure of cell, the functions of cell organelles, composition of cell, all the processes occur in cell. We will study in a very big detail. Right? So cytology is the scientific study of cell. But from which thing the cell is made? From molecules. And this is now cross the border from anatomy. It is biochemistry. The field in which we study about the molecules, about the chemistry of human body is called biochemistry. So here molecular study is called biochemistry. Chemistry. This is very simple. Bio means life. Chemistry means study of chemicals. So when we study the chemicals inside body, it's called biochemistry. In biochemistry, we will study the mechanisms of reactions in body, all the reactions in body, all the changes in body. If we got some tablet, for example, if we eat orally some tablet, what will be the changes in our body? This all occur in domain of biochemistry, right? So biochemistry is the study, molecular study of human body is biochemistry, molecular study. Molecular study means from here we study organ system. When we take tissues and cells from that, then we study histology and cytology. Collectively, the cytology and histology is called microanatomy. Understand? Microanatomy. So we took histology and cytology in anatomy. Why it is called microanatomy? Because we study the cell and tissues with microscope. Microscope is an instrument through which we can see small subjects very large. What is the resolution power of eye? Human eye have resolution power, but microscope have too much larger resolution and magnification power as compared to human eye. So what is the difference between resolution and magnification? Any one of you? One of the intelligent. What is the difference between magnification and resolution? There are two words. Resolution and magnification. All of you, I think, using mobiles. So how you can't understand resolution and magnification?
resolution और मैग्निफिकेशन किसी चीज को
बड़ा करना. मैग्निफिकेशन में एक चीज हमें बड़ा दिखता है और रेजोल्यूशन में अपार्ट फ्रॉम ईच अदर. दिस इज एग्जैक्ट डेफिनेशन ऑफ रेजोल्यूशन एंड मैग्निफिकेशन. फॉर एग्जांपल, आई हैव दिस डॉट हियर. Our big students cannot see this dot. But if I took lens of 400x, it means that this dot will be magnified 400 times. And when we magnify 400 times this dot, it will look like this. This is called magnification. When something see larger than normal. And when two things see apart from each other, our eyes detect that these are in touch. These both things are in touch. For example, I took these two markers. Our eyes detect that this is in touch. But if you see under microscope, this will be not in touch. This is called resolution. And the resolution power of our eye is 1 mm. 1 millimeter. If two things have 1 mm of distance between, then we see these two objects apart from each other. But if we reduce the distance between these two from 1 mm, we will see it as touching. Right? Microscope have both resolution and magnification powers and lens. Right? So these two are called microanatomy because we cannot see the tissues and cells with our naked eye. We don't have too much power. So we use external instruments, and therefore we took this histology and cytology and anatomy. This is the normal study. Now we understand this study. For example, I took example of heart, kidney, anything, heart. What is the structure of heart? Structurally, we know that heart have 4 chambers: right atrium and right ventricle. And I mean aorta. And have left atrium and left ventricle. This is the structure of heart. For example, now we will go for function. And the functional study is called now we will go for normal function. We are in normal. So normal structure, we study normal structure and anatomy. histology, cytology. And the molecular study we are in biochemistry. Now the functional study. Normal function. If you know about the structure, you will must know about function. The functional study, the branch of sciences in which we study the function are called physiology. Physiology. So we can define it a branch of. We will go in a very big detail for physiology after this, because but now this is the branch of medical science in which we study normal functions of human body. Physiology also has so many branches: viral physiology, bacterial physiology, plants physiology, fungus physiology, human physiology, right? So the branch of medical science in which we study the normal functions of human body is called human physiology. Human physiology. For example, we have already studied the structure of heart. Now what is the function of heart? What is the function of heart? Is pumping the blood. Pumping the blood is the function of heart. So this is the function. First we study structure and then we study function. And the functional study is called physiology. We will go in a very big detail after this, because you have first chapter is introduction to physiology. And that we will study the history, also the history of physiology, the eras of physiology, scientists, right? So the normal study of functions of human body is called physiology. After that we will go for abnormal, because now we know the anatomy, structure in normal structure, normal histology, normal cytology, right? So for example, in cytology we take example of cell division. Normally we have cell division mitosis, but if any abnormality occur in mitosis, it will cause cancer. You all are well aware of cancer. It's very dangerous. So we can define cancer as the abnormal cell division. Normal cell division we study in cytology. Abnormal cell division we study in pathology. So we will go for now abnormal study. Abnormal study. For abnormal study, we not have only pathology. We have pathology, but after the disease or after the abnormal study, we will also, it is must to know about the cause. What is the cause of this abnormality? For example, if I got some infection in my chest infection. For example, I am caused by TB. So there is something behind this TB, which is called Mycobacterium tuberculosis, TB. So in abnormal study, first of all, we study pathology. Pathology. In pathology, we study the abnormal structure and function of human body. And in anatomy physiology, we study the normal structure and function of human body. And pathology, we study the abnormal structure and function. If any divergent from normal structure and functions occur, we will call it pathology. Mean the study of diseases. The study of diseases is called pathology. पर देखियो उनका study को बोले हाँ abnormal पख्तो दा wording में किताब ज़्यादा यूज़ कम confuse ना शेखा सही ना abnormal structure and function, right? So in pathology we study the abnormal structure and function, but it is must that we compare this abnormality with normal. If you don't compare, you will not diagnose. Right? If I take example of hemoglobin HB, I already know that my normal HB is from 12 to 16. So if HB drops from 12, I am saying that there is some problem in my body. I am feeling weak. Why I diagnose? Because I already know the normal. I took that normal and compared it with abnormal. For example, HB is normally 12 to 16. If someone have HB is 9. So I will compare this with this range, this normal range. And I realize that 9 is less than 12. So the patient have low blood. The patient have low HB. The patient is cyanosed. He or she is caused by anemia. This is the study, comparative study. We will compare the normal with abnormal. So abnormal structure and function, and this condition is called disease. डिजीज को हम उर्दू में क्या कहते हैं? बीमारी. So the branch of medical sciences, in which we study diseases is called pathology. But there are some natural causes also for diseases, natural causes, and there are some artificial. For example, if someone shot with bullet, he is also caused by disease, but that disease is not occur in the domain of pathology. That is called forensic medicines, because this cause is external. This is artificial cause. Now, forensic medicines also occur in abnormal studies. The second branch here, like in normal, we took anatomy, histology, cytology, and abnormal we took pathology, forensic medicine. And forensic medicines, injuries, firearms, these studies are called forensic medicine, which related to law, drugs, medicines, law. And last, we will study the natural cause, microbiology. And microbiology is the study of microorganisms. Study of microorganism like bacteria, virus, fungus, parasites, insects. These are called microorganisms, and these are the very, very real causes of diseases, especially virus and bacteria. For example, diphtheria. Diphtheria is bacterial. For example, tetanus. Tetanus is bacteria. We got some infections like cystitis, like tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is bacterial infection. And apart from this, like poliovirus, polio, HBS, HCV, cirrhosis, which is caused by HBS or HCV, HIV, gonorrhea. These are microbiological causes. So when we study diseases, we must know the cause.
Yes.
Like if someone is caused by malaria, a doctor advises MP test.
Yes.
If someone is caused by corona, doctor must refer him to PCR corona PCR. Why? Because without investigation, without cause, we cannot treat the patient. If we know the cause, we will treat properly. In microbiology, we study microorganisms which are the real cause for pathology. This is the abnormal study. There is some boundary line between the theoretical study and the practical study. Some boundary line. We all are passing from that boundary line. The one is normal study, theoretical study. The second one is practical study. And this is the beauty of medical education. That we can apply our knowledge according to our brain. Before we really go for practical study, there is some boundary lines. And in boundary lines, we have some basic subjects. The one and only basic subject which is on boundary line, which is must for every medical student. They may be in radiology, they may be in MLT, in dental, in MBBS, but they must study this one subject. And the subject is called, this is the boundary line. And their subject is called pharmacology, the study of drugs. Because as like here, when we know about the normal, we will compare it with normal and we will diagnose abnormality. But if we doesn't know about drugs, we cannot treat the patient. So for that practical study, we must know about pharmacology. And pharmacology is the study of drugs. Pharmacology. The detailed study of drugs. In pharmacology, we study the mechanism of actions, the side effects of drugs, the indications of drugs, the durations of drugs, the routes of drugs, formulations of drugs, sources of drugs. So, in pharmacology is the detailed study of drugs. Now, anyone intelligent from your class, can you differentiate drugs and medicine for me? What is the difference between drug and medicine? Why we call it drug? Why we call it medicine?
You drug naming medicine.
The drug naming medicine judo. Anyone else? Drugs for dose form की? हाँ.
जो हम medicine में तो दाना लगी लगा खराबी में drugs की नशा हो गया.
Drugs की नशे राजी और medicine की? Anyone else? Backbenchers. I really love backbenchers. I like backbenchers, not front. Anyone from you? What is the difference between drugs and medicines? Drugs treatment दपारा नहीं. Also नशो दपारा नहीं. If I took 0.5 mg of alprazolam, sedation, alprazolam, bromazepam, diazepam, clonazepam, then what? They are drugs.
The medicine
Obtain ki or drugs doesn't obtain ki. The plants of animals now. Take the higher is 100% right. Drugs are taken from animals and plants. But there is some conceptual fault. There is medicine. When this medicine is in uncalculated amount, it is called drugs. But when we take drugs and calculate it, after that we call it medicines. For example, if I have a truck of paracetamol, 100 tons of paracetamol, this is drug. But if I took 500 mg and form a tablet, it is called medicine. Okay, paracetamol 500 mg, alprazolam 0.5 mg, propranolol, Androl 10 mg. This calculated amount is called medicine. Understand?
Yes.
Any confusion? Medicine. Medicine is calculated dosage form. Calculated dosage form. And drug is uncalculated Dosage form, no. No dosage. Dosage form is syrup, tablet.
Yes, sir.
Before this is called uncalculated amount,
Yes, sir.
a drug, and not a proper dosage form. Not a proper dosage form. Now, some of your students said that drugs are used for nasha.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Difference between medicine and drugs. After studying pharmacology, after studying drugs, the mechanism of actions, the uses, the indications, we will go for practical study.
Yes.
Up to here, we study some of subjects which gives us the concept of normal study. Pharmacology gives us normal concepts of drugs.
Yes.
Now we will study for practical in hospitals and clinics. First, we have medicine. We have medicines. Medicines have two types on low levels. One is called internal medicines. Internal medicines. One is called specialized medicines. Special medicines. Doctor which have FCPS degree in internal medicines is called gastroenterologist. Gastroenterologist or medical specialist. Medical specialist. Because in internal medicines, we study the treatments of only internal organs like stomach, liver, intestine, gastroenterologist, diabetes mellitus, etc. Pancreatic abnormalities. In special medicines, for example, orthopedics. Orthopedic doctor only know about orthopedics, bones. Urology. Urologist. Urology medicine. ENT medicines. These are special because, for example, if we have orthopedic surgeon like Dr.Sajid, they only prescribe orthopedic and they are eligible for orthopedic prescriptions. Medical specialist can diagnose the problem and refer it to specialist doctor. For example, if we visit a consultant of medical specialist and we have some pains in our abdomen, he realized after investigations, after ultrasound, after x-rays, that you have problem in your kidney. He will or she will refer you to urologist,
Yes, sir.
medical specialist. Like the urologist. There is difference between medicine, but this is practical. Now we make prescription and we apply our theoretical knowledge. And practical knowledge, what is practical study? The application of theoretical medical knowledge in hospitals and clinics. Understand? When we apply these knowledges practically, it's called practical medical education. Now the second field is surgery. You must know about surgery. And most of students love surgeries.
Yes, sir.
They like surgeries. Surgeries also have two types. The one is general surgery. General surgery and special surgeries. For example, general surgeries, appendectomy, cholecystectomy, cystectomy, HTA.
Yes, sir.
They are general surgeries. But if we go for brain, neurosurgery, there is no special. Neurosurgery. Surgery. For example, orthopedic surgery. ENT surgeries. Maxillofacial. Dental surgery, oral surgery. They are special. In general surgery, We took mostly abdomen in general. For example, hernia. For example, hernia. Herniectomy होता है. Hernia. It's called herniectomy. Hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoidectomy. Appendicitis. Appendectomy. Polycystictomy. These are general surgery. So surgery is most practical field. It's most. Now for surgeries, the basics is must. For medicines, the basics is must from very beginning. You are also studying basics. Basics mean the subjects like anatomy, histology, cytology, physiology, biochemistry, pathology, pharmacology. These are basics. So for these basics are must. If you don't know about the basics, you cannot apply it. You cannot. If you don't know how to drive a car, you cannot drive a car. First, you have to learn the basic rules, the basic car about, and you must learn driving. Then you go and sit in your car. Like that. First, we must know about the normal studies, normal anatomy, and anatomy is very must in surgery.
Yes.
For radiology student, radiologist, and for surgical,
Yes, sir.
anatomy is very must. Now, surgery also have two: general surgery and special surgery.
Yes.
And last, we have a very unique and very beautiful branch of practical study, which is called pediatrics. Pediatrics is very separate and a very good field. Pediatrics. Do you know about pediatrics? Pediatrics. Who is the pediatrics we study? Treatment and diagnosis of children. Children treatment, diagnosis, investigation. It's called pediatrics.
Yes.
Pediatrics. And specialist in pediatrics medicines is called pediatrician. So this is today's lecture.
Yes.
Any confusion?
No, sir.